Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, Steve.
As we look to begin services, we're going to have a music selection.
I'm looking for a place to go so I can be all alone from thoughts and memories, so that when the music plays I don't go back to the days when love was you and me. Oh, moja droga, jak się kocham, means that I love you so. Moja droga, jak się kocham, more than you'll ever know. Kocham ciebie całym sercem, love you with all my heart. Return to me and always be my melody of love. Wish I had a place to hide all my sorrow, all my pride. I just can't get along, 'cause the love once so fine keeps on hurting all the time. Where did I go wrong? Oh, moja droga, jak się kocham, means that I love you so. Moja droga, jak się kocham, more than you'll ever know. Kocham ciebie całym sercem, love you with all my heart. Return to me and always be my melody of love. Oh, la 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 la, my melody of love. La 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 la, my melody of love.
Please silence your cell phones. It's quite all right. Those things happen. And if from what I've heard about who Sandy was, if she could say right now, she'd say that's okay. That's life, right? Why don't we go ahead and we bow our heads in prayer, and we're going to begin with a first reading. Here is a woman of integrity, whose good life will not be forgotten. Her reputation will be passed on to her descendants, and this will be their inheritance. Her family continues to keep the covenant and will, because of what she did. Her glory will not fade. She will be laid to rest, but her reputation will live forever. The people will proclaim her wisdom, and the assembly will celebrate her praises. When I come to the end of the day and the sun has set for me, I want no rites in a gloom-filled room, while I cry for a soul set free. Miss me a little, but not too long, and not with your head bowed low. Remember the love that we once shared. Miss me, but let me go. For this is a journey we all must take, and each must go alone. It's all a part of the Maker's plan, a step on the road to home. When you are lonely and sick at heart, go to the friends we know, and bury your sorrows in doing good deeds. Miss me, but let me go. To John, her beloved husband, her children, John. Was it the second or junior did we decide on? It depends on the day. Kathy, Chris, and his wife Lisa, the grandchildren, godchildren, cousins, and numerous friends who are here. We know that death is a sad time. It's a difficult time. And I remember that when Sandy came in to talk about her funeral arrangements, which she was all about getting everything all lined up so no one would have to worry, she said, and we had a very detailed conversation about her journey and her journey and where she was spiritually. And she said that to her, it's right here in her heart. And that's where she kept every single one of you. And we know that. This next reading sort of talks about how there's a time for everything, and how in life, there's good and there's bad. Love is patient and love is kind. Love is not jealous or boastful, is not arrogant or rude. Love does not insist on its own way. It is not irritable or resentful. It does not rejoice at wrong, but rejoices in the right. Love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Love never dies. And as we sit here and wonder about this mystery that we call death, we hope that maybe this next reading might be able to explain what might be beyond. I'm standing upon a seashore. A ship at my side spreads her white sails for the morning breeze and starts for the ocean blue. She is an object of beauty and strength. I stand and watch her until at length she hangs like a speck of white cloud just where the sea and sky come to mingle with each other. Then someone at my side says, there she is gone. Gone where? Gone from my sight, that is all. She is just as large in mast, hull, and spar as she was when she left my side, and she is just as able to bear her load of living freight to her destined port. Her diminished size is in me, not in her. And just at the moment when someone says, there she is gone, there are other eyes watching her coming, and other voices ready to take up the glad shout, here she comes. Like I said, from what we've talked about, Sandy was a wonderful, caring woman, a mother, a wife, a cousin, a friend. She was there for everyone. Our first reading, we heard about a woman of integrity. That was Sandy. That's who she was. She was a woman of integrity whose good life certainly will not be forgotten. We might disperse from this place, but maybe you're going to remember a joke, or you're going to see a recipe, or maybe some laugh that you enjoyed with her, and she's going to come to mind. Our second reading talks about love and a time for things. And Sandy knew that her day would eventually come, that we'd be here mourning her loss. But as she goes from this world to the next, she didn't fret, she didn't fear, because she had three great things: faith, hope, and love. Faith in what was to come next. No more worrying about sickness or what was going to have to happen. Hope and peace for her and her family and her friends, for something better. And hope that one day they would see each other again. And lastly, love in her family. Her family was by her side the past couple days, with her, telling stories, pointing out who was who in what picture. It's an important job. But lastly, it was love. And as we look to leave here, just remember that that is the most important thing that you have for her. At this time, I'd like to invite Paul to come up to share a personal reflection that he has written.
just a few short words about Sandy. We can have a 10-minute intermission, so bear with me, please. The only true way to describe Sandra is to compare her to the most precious, biggest rose you could ever find. Every single petal had touched someone's life and heart dearly. She had enough compassion, patience, calmness, love for everyone in need, no matter how big or small the issue. She will be missed beyond words could say. The decades of spending Christmas and Easter along with family reunions. Being an only child, family meant everything to her. We'll miss that beautiful smile and infectious laughter she had. As a wife, mother, grandmother, Connie's Auntie Sandy, cousin or friend, she would always make time to listen. She had so many precious gifts that shone brightly from within her heart and soul. I will miss the conversations we shared, starting off seriously, but ending up laughing so hard our stomachs hurt and tears ran down our eyes. We'd always end up saying to each other, "I love you." One of the most memorable moments was at Fred and Peggy's anniversary party. All of us cousins had poor Hattie convinced I was the oldest cousin. We can still see Sandra, along with the rest of us cousins, seeing her slapping her knee in hysterics. We never laughed so hard in our lives. Also at watching Hattie rolling on the floor in uncontrollable laughter. We will cherish this moment for sure. Being in her company made you warm, safe, and truly loved. Heaven gained a special angel, and she is now on her new life's journey. I can only picture in heaven, especially the reunion with her precious angel Vicky. Our hearts are heavy, but knowing you are now at peace brings some comfort to us. When we see a shooting star, rainbow, precious rose like you, Sandra, we'll know it's a sign for us all. In closing, I would say, if you were lucky enough to have Sandra in your life, you were lucky enough. So long for now, dear cuz. We all love you, and we will hold you in our precious memories that will live forever, be tucked away deep in our hearts. We love you forever. Love, your family.
Send much more.
Thank you, Paul, very much for sharing that with us. A time will come when my life will cease, but when that time comes, I ask that you remember these things. Bury my body, but do not bury my beliefs. Bury my heart, but don't bury my love. Bury my eyes, but not my vision. Bury my feet, but not the path of my life. Bury my hands, but don't bury my diligent efforts. Bury my shoulders, but not the concerns I carried. Bury my voice, but not my message. Bury my mind, but don't bury my dreams. Bury me, but don't bury my life. If you must bury something, let it be my faults and my weaknesses, but let my love continue on in all of you. Before we look to leave, just a note that you're welcome to join the family at Club Monarch. Once again, you're welcome to join the family at Club Monarch. And I'd like to leave with a final prayer. It's called Afterglow. And I'd like us to remember, because I think I could imagine Sandy telling all of us that. I'd like the memory of me to be a happy one. I'd like to leave an afterglow of smiles when life is done. I'd like to leave an echo whispering softly down the way of happy times and laughing times of bright and sunny days. I'd like the tears of those who grieve to dry before the sun of happy memories that I leave when life is done. And I will leave you with one quote. It's always a good day when you learn something new. We'll close our service with a music selection.
Face
the wind beneath my wings. Did I ever tell you you're my hero? You're everything, everything I wish I could be. Oh, I can fly higher than an eagle. You are the wind beneath my wings. 'Cause you are the wind beneath my wings. Oh, the wind beneath my wings. You are the wind beneath my wings. The wind beneath my wings.
This brings funeral services for Sandra to a close. Just a reminder that you're welcome to join the family at Club Monarch. At this time, you're welcome to step to the parking lot. The family is going to do some private farewells at this time, and you're welcome to join them and continue the celebration of Sandra's life at Club Monarch.